Welcome to Stories from the Dirt, where we dig into the dirt of some stories from those who like to live where the pavement ends. I'm your host, Avis, and my co host today is Liz. Hi, Liz.
Hello.
In our first series, we're going to highlight those connected in life through the Rebel Rally. We get the dirt from new and seasoned competitors, their loved ones, and staff members. Today we have with us Danielle and Cara, known as Grit and Grace.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey.
Thanks for
All
having
right,
us.
why don't you guys, thanks. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
My name is Danielle Noonan. I live in Oxford, Mississippi. Apparently, I am the first rebel from Mississippi. So excited about that. I'm primarily an overlander. Our family, we drive Land Rovers um, and go off road, have all kinds of fun with our friends and family, ride adventure motorcycles off road, and I'm going to be the navigator. So there's that.
Yes, she is.
I'm learning all the things navigation. So I can use paper maps, and I'm having to really learn now. So I'm blessed to have a super amazing driver teammate with me, best friend. So all around everything, doing the rebel with me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I am Cara McClellan. I am in Conway, Arkansas, and I drive a 2021 Jeep Wrangler, hot pink Wrangler, and so I love it so much. I have built it up to be a rock crawler because that is what I love to do. I do like to camp. I just don't like it's boring to me to take this road. Like I want obstacles and I want challenges and I want to climb ledges and do all those things. I also ride an adventure motorcycle, and so does my husband, and love that. I don't so much, which is kind of funny because I don't like rock crawling in it at all. Like I'm okay with taking the pavement and going that way on that motorcycle. It's kind of funny how I think about that. But let's see, we have puppies, we love our dogs. I don't know. I'm going to be the driver and I cannot wait. And I'm super, super glad to have Danielle as the navigator. As I have learned, that is the bread and butter behind the Rebel Rally. It's really that's obviously you're a teammate because she needs me to drive her to get to places, but I won't be able to get to those places if I don't know where I'm going. And like someone tells me to turn east, I'm like, okay, Lewis and Clark, is that left or right? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're having to work out the language in the truck.
Oh yeah.
If words fail, use your finger.
Yeah.
Go that way.
Always go the way my finger is pointing, no matter what my mouth is saying.
Exactly.
I totally get that.
Yeah. Great. So it sounds like you guys are pretty well prepared for the rally, like lifestyle wise. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. You told us you're in Arkansas and Mississippi. That's exciting. I didn't know we'd never had anybody from Mississippi before.
I didn't know either. Andrea had pointed it out, like, hey, you're a first timer. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want to know who the person is in Arkansas. Like it makes me want to
I
search them out and be
know.
like, tell me where you been hiding? Because I feel like I should know the people that's in my state, but I guess it's bigger than what I thought. But
Yeah. It would be fun if they publish a list in all the
yeah,
states that we're in. That
Yeah,
would make it easier to get together.
and yeah,
that'd be
because
really
it's so
cool.
there's not a lot of stuff on the East Coast. Like I know Mandy and Alex are putting something together, hopefully this year, and so I'm really hoping that there can be more East Coast because I know they moved it to Canada, but I'm just like, what about the U.S. on the East side?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Mandy and Alex have a date set. I can't remember what it is, but they do have a date. So if you're looking out for that, you can go search that up.
Yeah, we are definitely gonna. I think last time they said it was gonna be in June, but I don't think that worked for people. So I think they were looking
I,
more to.
Kara, I think I saw it, and I think you're going to be at the Pacific Northwest Expo during it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a busy it's a busy year with the Rebel Rally. Like
Oh,
there's so much. Like, and we are already. I guess I didn't mention that in my intro. Like we do YouTube full time, and so we travel to a lot of the expos, and so we're constantly. What are we doing when?
Yeah, yeah. The rally does tend to take up a calendar year, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna kind of ask
Mhm.
though, as a because you ladies are a rookie team, and so that kind of leads into like how many trainings and what does that schedule look like for the two of you? Because it's different from every team. So what have
Well,
you
let me get my
taken
calendar
on?
out.
Well, I'll say we started back in December, actually, here in Arkansas, up in Northwest Arkansas. We attended a land navigation class, so it was like in the classroom, but then we also went out and did like a hike, and he had hidden markers throughout, and we had to navigate to those markers, and we had to develop a route that way. It's totally different, obviously, driving because it's different it's whole different conditions, but it was really cool to see that. And then we attended, Nina's class with you guys. And
The
gosh,
7 day dunes, right? You did all
mhm.
7 days.
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
we did all of it.
yeah. And then we're actually leaving. I'm headed to Arkansas on Easter, so
Mhm.
coming up soon. Um, and we are headed out to Ridgecrest, California, and we are going to be training with some Rebel veterans that we're super excited to be training with. Laura and Holly. I don't know their team number, but they're team heading in distance. Um, and Holly, has she done every rally or
She's
all
done a
but
lot of
one?
them,
She's done a lot of them.
like
Order
six or
six,
something, I think.
though. Yeah, she's done a lot. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
Lonnie is going to be there, Lonnie Trejo. And I'm not sure is her. I'm not sure who's coming with her, or if she's just going by herself.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Um,
either.
yeah, and she was in the rally last year, so and her Bronco. So super excited that they sort of have taken us under their wing, and they've been incredibly helpful. And it would be so hard to not have these veteran teams like you guys and Holly and Laura, and then we have some good friends of ours, also Katie and Lisa, Team Wild Mavens. They were in the last 2 years as well, and they've been a great resource for us.
Yeah, and
Um,
Nice.
as far as other trainings, I know we're gonna do the Rebel U, we're gonna do the mock trials with
mhm.
them, and then I think Danielle's actually gonna go to the other navigation training that Nina is putting on. And then we're gonna do the dunes with Rebel U, and then possibly another full training with the Rebel U. We're all in.
We're
So
going all in. Like we want to be like we understand. We fully understand we are a rookie team, and um, people keep saying to us, "Don't have unrealistic goals." Like apparently y'all don't know how competitive we are. We have unrealistic goals. So that's just how we're gonna be. That's just the way it is. We're in 100%.
Nice.
I love it. Yeah, you ladies are you're really taking it on. So
Yeah, we
yeah,
are.
Nice. I like the dedication. I've been known to have unrealistic goals before, so
I
I
mean,
like that.
I'm just
I
gonna
think
let
you
myself down, I guess, if we don't meet those. And but yeah,
I think
we're
you have to
competitive.
have like that one really, really aspiring goal, right? Like you have to
Yeah,
have
we
that, and
do.
then you have to have kind of a sub goal, and then and then if all else fails, we just want to finish. Like you have to have different tiers of all of them, but
Sure.
I
Yeah.
just kind of like touch in with them on different days of like, okay, we're here. Okay, we're here. Oh, we're back up here again.
yeah,
Yeah.
today's a
Yeah.
really shitty day. I'm just gonna hope to pass. So
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And
Well, that's why they say ride the middle. Ride the middle
yeah.
because you'll come in high and you'll come in low. And if you focus solely on either one of those, you're gonna kind of screw yourself over mentally.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys have a lot of training. Is that worked into like your team bonding or like what did you do? Did you know each other before you decided to do the rebel?
Yeah, we did know each other before this. But we did dedicate last year, Cara and I did like a 6 week overlanding trip out through the Pacific Northwest, started up in Idaho, ended down in California, and just took 6 weeks to travel together and see how we work together and make each other cry and
And was that
make
just
each
the two
other.
of you? Was this like a solo duo girls trip,
We
6 weeks?
The
so
two
we
of us and our
had
dogs.
Yeah, and our
Right?
dogs. We did have her husband for just a little short period of that, because went to the Pacific Northwest Expo, and then we shooed him on his way, and then it was me and her. But yeah, it was us and our dogs, and
I will say we started it off we started off by going our separate ways by skydiving. I took
uh-huh.
Danielle skydiving. I was like, if we're gonna do this, we're jumping out of a plane, and then if we live and survive, and we'll
Yeah,
go
and then
travel.
I wanted her to just go on like a horseback ride, and she wouldn't do that. But she basically threw me out of an airplane, and it was the worst day of my life.
Be free.
Excellent.
Yeah, we
I mean, that's kind of. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, we traveled the whole 6 weeks, just me and her, and getting to know each other because we both know each other's skills as far as what we've done wheeling wise. But you want to also be able to know that you can have that relationship with one another because our personalities just make, you're stuck in a vehicle for 8 days and you're doing all
Hmm.
these trainings together, and I don't know, our lives have kind of combined at this point. I feel like just because we
They
know
really
each other
are.
really.
Our
I couldn't
lives are
imagine.
Yeah.
very intertwined.
Well, yeah, I imagine you really learn how to rely on each other too, because you're for that long a period of time and doing something like a trip like that, you're um
Mhm.
you're getting to know each other's like ups and downs and like how each other likes coffee in the morning or when to talk and when not to talk, like all those little
I'm
intricacies of
easy.
a relationship. So when you get to the rally, you're like, oh, we did 6 weeks together, like we know how to live together.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like we're married because sometimes I'm like, I'm being the asshole in the in the marriage, and I'm like, but we still love each other.
We like to say that she's like the sandpaper. She's the gritty sandpaper, and I'm more of
I'm
like the
grittier.
marshmallow.
Yeah.
I
Well, we
cook
always come
everything.
back to each other.
Yeah.
We always
I'm,
come
I'm
back.
picturing a marshmallow with sandpaper right now. Like those aren't coming apart.
I would never put them together, but now that I have that imagery, it's not going away.
Yeah.
Don't eat it like a s'more. I'm just saying it's not coming apart.
No, no, we're sticky.
Yep, we
You're
are. We're stuck to
sticky.
each other.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. I don't know of anybody who's done 6 weeks solo overlanding to prepare for the rebel. I mean, Liz and I have only done like a couple of nights, and we've had other girls with us.
Yeah, yeah. Nat,
Yeah.
my partner from last year, we did a couple like road trips and stuff, but it wasn't anything that long. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
6 weeks. It was like we would do like 3 days or something, or 3 or 4, and like slept in her rooftop tent together. And so I
Yeah.
mean that
So
was
I mean,
good.
and you got to think like, okay, so we did do those 6 weeks together, but then there was probably another, 6 or 8 weeks that we were also doing other events together the whole year. I
Yeah.
mean, so I mean, our worlds really overlap
Mhm.
extensively, and so we're together a lot all the time. So,
And I think that's been good. Like I was actually talking to my husband about this. Because we had those 6 weeks together, and we did, like she said, we definitely made each other cry because things happen, and you have to know how to develop. You can't just shut down from those situations. You have to know how to work through things. Um,
mhm,
and so like it was really cool. And I also know people that have done the rebel and haven't known their partner at all. And I was like, I wonder what it's like. Like it's got to be hard either way, right? Because you have this deep relationship with someone that you're doing it with, like me and Danielle, or you have nothing. And so like there's different sides to both of those coins. Like sometimes you're just so close that you're like, you could just tell the person just I hate you, like you're just, but
mhm.
you love each other, but you still have those, like, it's just that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the partnership dynamics are very fascinating because it's not there's no one right way to do it. There's lots of ways to do it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's personality dependent. So, are you guys worried at all that at the end of this you might not still be friends?
I'm not I'm not at all, but this one over here, she's freaked out all the time.
Yeah, we were coming back from our motorcycle training this past weekend, and she was like, I want to do this motorcycle trip over in Colombia. And I was like, well, you're not allowed to do it this year because we're training for the Rebel. You can't break anything or you got to survive until we get to the Rebel. And I was like, but we can both do it together next year as long as we're still friends at the end of this year. And so
Yeah, that's a Cara issue. That's not a Danielle
it's a
issue.
marshmallow issue. We have marshmallow
Yeah,
issues and sandpaper issues.
Yeah, we do for sure.
that makes total sense. So are marshmallows on your snack list for the Rebel?
I do
Blech,
like marshmallows.
blech. I like them toasted. I like them
I don't,
crunchy.
I'll just eat them raw out of a bag.
No.
They have to be a little stale first.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
that's weird.
No, it's
Avis
not.
makes Rice
Yeah,
Krispie
they're
treats, and
stale.
that was amazing. So that's how we're having marshmallows, right? In the Rice Krispie
Yeah.
treats.
Yeah, yeah. Brown butter Rice Krispie treats. Mhm. Mm.
Oh,
Put them in the
that's
fridge.
I
yeah.
don't remember, was that
Oh,
like day one? I don't remember when you handed Nat and I like a bag. There was like 6 of them or something, and it was just like we were like, oh my god! Like every morning we're
that
eating our little Rice
Mm,
Krispie treats.
that
that
was on
sounds
Also,
delicious.
transit.
Okay,
We were at the gas station and I was eating them and they were like, "Oh my god." And I grabbed this bag and I like throw it into their window and they're like, I'm kind of known for my Rice Krispie treats.
That's delicious.
I just want you to make me steak and then bring it so you can be I can be eating steak through the roof.
I don't bring steak. All right, so you talked a little bit about your Jeep. You're going to be running in your Jeep and it's built for rock crawling. So are you going to kind of unbuild it or what's your plan?
So we actually bought another Jeep for me to drive. So I'm building it up. And so I'm actually taking my Jeep, the pink one, down. So
Okay.
yeah, it was on 38s, and so obviously 38s are now it's acceptable in the rally, or 37s. But I wanted to go down to 35 just because of the changing the tires and the exhaustion of that. I don't want to have to deal with anything in weight and seeing how that affects my gas mileage as well, to get through some of those days. As far as that goes, no, my suspension is like it's just the tires that I'm changing. The suspension on it is
Okay.
dialed. I love my Clayton off-road suspension. They're actually a sponsor of the channel, and I love that suspension. It's always done very well for me. But other than that, there's some things on the inside just for Danielle, that we're doing. Obviously, we got the Terra Trip. We actually got that in, and we're going to install it probably in Ridgecrest if we take that Jeep. This coming up week, we'll install it with Laura and Holly. And so we have a bar system at the top on my dash. And so the person that designs that bar system is going to help to add the mountings for those things. And so that's really the only thing that I'm going to be doing too. But it's definitely lower than what I'm used to. So
And it's already,
Yeah.
because we're overlanders, it's already very well built out for organization and, all
yeah.
the things that we need in it. So
Yeah,
we're
in the back I
fortunate
have
that way.
a drawer system. So there is some things that I learned from Nina as far as like the weight distribution and putting things because we're gonna take a
Yeah.
refrigerator on this trip, and so gonna figure out how to move its packing and getting that all dialed in. That's gonna be figuring
Hmm.
out those ways.
Hmm.
Yeah. I've learned in my 2 years of experience that I need to be well organized or it just adds this hum of stress to
Mhm.
my day that just wears on me. And that's something Liz and I share. She's all about the organization. So,
Yeah, and Nat and I spent a ton of time organizing. Like when we'd get together on our little trips, we'd like organize stuff, and then we'd be like, "This doesn't work," and we the next time we got together, we'd do it again, and like we spent a
Mhm.
lot of time on organization. That was like one thing, and then talking about food.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm trying to work a lot on how do I want to organize all my navigation stuff?
Yeah,
Like ordering a bag and where do I want to keep it? All this stuff. Like I keep doing little, might seem silly, but for a navigator, it's not like where do I want my pencils? Where do I want my extra lead? Where do I want my pens? Where do I want, and so I keep finding myself reorganizing this bag that I bought, and I'll really get to try it out next week at Ridgecrest. So
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
great. The trial and error of it, being able to put stuff together and then go out
Mhm.
and try it and be like, this worked, this didn't work. Like at some point, Nat and I had like snacks and stuff just fall like all over the car. This isn't gonna work, and we ended up putting them in our center console. Like, so yeah, the
Yeah.
being able to just take it out and then reorganize what didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the key is to remember, like, I think I'm gonna put this into effect is like having the driver, which is me, having me be in charge of putting things away, just because I know where things are at. As long as Danielle knows where things go, but I have to have that organization so that way we know, like it's this very much dialed system because that's time that you're having to spend to search for something.
Yeah. And I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
spend any time looking for anything. It's like if I
No.
took it out from there, it goes back there.
Yeah, everything has a
Absolutely.
home.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all right. Before rally stuff, how long have you guys been overlanding? How did you get into it? Did you grow up like camping and doing a bunch of outdoor stuff? Like what's the story behind all of it?
I have spent my entire life doing outdoor stuff from very, very young. I grew up in Southwest Florida. We lived out in the Everglades. And my dad, rode and raced with swamp buggies. And, I was out with all the gators and snakes and lizards and you name it, I was out there camping. I've camped in ground tents hundreds of nights. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many nights I've camped in my life. And then my husband and I'm 46 and we've been together since I was 16. He's a biologist. He studies reptiles and amphibians as well. And so we have traveled, internationally significantly, and going to some pretty remote, hardcore places. Um, and so being out in those kind of elements is nothing new to me. Um, I would say we were overlanding before overlanding was a thing. We just called it camping, and we'd just go on road trips, is what we called it. And we basically have done that our entire lives. And then we started overlanding when overlanding became cool. And and yeah, that's just what we do. My kids grew up doing it. They were camping when they were months old. Just out there, yeah, I don't know. Outdoors is something I'm extremely passionate about. I am in my happy place when I'm outside. I'm also in my happy place when I'm with my family and cooking. I cook a lot. You know, if it's just me and Cara, we're gonna eat a little bit boring when we're overlanding, but I do like camp cooking quite a bit actually. But yeah, just rally, doing a rally, any type of racing, all that's new for me. We do adventure motorcycle riding, trail riding, stuff like that, but no racing, no rally navigating competitions. That's all new for me.
Did you grow up using it on bikes and stuff as well, or is the adventure bikes, is that a newer chapter?
I mean, we would ride dirt bikes and stuff, and but the adventure bikes is new. My husband always says, "Why did we wait till we were like in our 40s to get into adventure bike riding?" It's like we were talking before the show started today. I had to go have an X-ray of my leg because I had a pretty hard fall doing a creek crossing. I had water in my helmet, and all I'm thinking, my leg is stuck, and my knee is hurt, and all I'm thinking about is someone turn my motorcycle off before I hydrolock it. That's all I was thinking about was turn my motorcycle off. I can't reach it. Um, so yeah, it's like, why did we start doing this adventure riding when we're in our 40s? But it's like, well, now it's like we don't have babies. Our kids are adults, and our kids like it too. Our son is very, very heavily into dual sport riding,
Nice.
and I'm like I just feel like we're old to be doing this, and we get hurt a lot easier now. So, but it's just so much fun. Just anything to get us outside, do anything outdoors. I love it.
Nice.
Hmm.
So we started, I guess, whenever I was younger, we would always go camping. It was my grandpa that would take us camping, but it was always like they had a camper. They never Like, it was never tents or anything like that. Actually, the first time I slept in a tent was at the Farlow training, the 7 day that we did with you guys. And so that was my first ground tent experience. We actually have rooftop tents on our vehicles, and so we're like the ground peasants as we look down from our tents. And so like I'm used to like so being on the ground was a whole new experience. We do hammock camp a lot. I've hammock camped in 17-degree weather when it's snowing on us, so that was fun.
Hmm.
But like we grew up doing that kind of stuff. As far as off-roading or adventure motorcycles, no. I got my first Jeep, I think, in 2013, I believe. And I actually met my husband around 2014, 2015. And well, no, 2015 is when we started the YouTube channel together. So got kind of serious about that. And so we've now turned our whole life into the off-roading, overlanding kind of thing. And we've eventually now got the adventure motorcycles and we do those things. But I wouldn't say that I am a natural at doing the outdoors. I hate the reptiles and amphibians that Danielle so loves. I'm okay with those. I mean, they have to exist. I don't want mice and all those things, but I don't want to see them. Um, and the fact that I'm on the ground with them is a whole nother level. I'm not the dirty, go play in the mud kind of person. I like to have everything be orderly and organized and neat and clean. And it's gonna. I got sand in my tent at the training, so I'm not looking forward to having sand beds. Um, but no, I mean, I love
Avis, you're
doing.
laughing.
I know, she knows what I'm in for. She's like, bless her heart, is what she is.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I fully know that. But I love it. I do, I know that our me and Danielle are kind of embracing the whole this is not gonna kill us. We can just get through this. It's gonna be fine. But I really love our lifestyle of being able to travel. Like I mentioned, we do YouTube full time, and so being able to see all the places, there's just so much outside of the scope of like where you are raised, and some people never leave that. And I think that we can all learn from other cultures and it's just there's just so much, and I think it's beautiful.
For sure. I like to say I'm pretty good at being dirty. My first year on the rally though, I was like, I don't think I've ever been this dirty in my entire life. I almost always have my nails done, and the first year I was like, I don't want to accidentally break one and have to deal with that, so I didn't do my nails, and like I would clean the dirt out from under my fingernails easily 5 times a day, and I was like, this is terrible. I feel disgusting. I have never smelled this bad in my entire life. So just prepare yourself, Cara. Just
I will say,
brace yourself.
like I don't sweat, and so there's that. I'm really glad because I won't smell at all. I know that for a fact, and so I can. But it's just the washing of my hair. Like I think I can go for 7 days without washing my hair before I start like having tremors and needing to like have a panic attack because my head is like really itching and I can't do that. So we'll see.
I
But
went
that's
over
okay.
over 20. I went over 20.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
When we
That's
were
amazing.
overlanding in Baja. I was like, dip it in the ocean every once in a while.
So Tara Lynn was, she's the winningest rebel in history currently, and she was my main mentor my first year. And I was like, yeah, I don't sweat. I'll be fine. I'm really good at being dirty. And she was like, trust me, put foot powder in your socks because there's this weird phenomenon called rally foot, and your feet will smell worse than they have ever smelled in your entire life. And God bless her, she was right.
Really?
Like
Okay, I'm
Wow.
gonna
I
make a note.
I have to
Yeah,
take my shoes up out of the tent or I am just like, "Oh my god, I can't."
that's
Really?
interesting.
Hmm.
We'll need to do that then.
Yeah, I'm making
But
a
we're
Did
not.
note.
you have rally foot?
Oh yeah, I'd have to stash mine out. Mine were outside of our tent every night. Like I had to
Yeah.
stash the shoes out there because like the shoes smelled so bad and like the socks smelled so bad. And like I'd take them all off and like put them out there and put a fresh set on for like nighttime. So because I was like, otherwise this tent's gonna reek. Like you're gonna
I
keep
can't
me
wait
out.
to.
You're
I
like,
can't wait
okay,
to
out.
test
You
this.
stink.
Yeah. So like my husband is like, you are so weird because your feet have not stunk in 30 years that we've been together. And so now I really want to know if my feet are going to stink.
Oh,
I can't
Do
wait to
not ask
test
me.
this.
I don't want you to, because I know she will. She will be like,
I'll be like,
"Do my
smell
feet
me.
stink?"
Smell me. Smell me. It's really bad.
Please don't.
Can I tell you we're really close? Smell me, Cara.
and then somebody will take a shower and they'll walk through camp, and I'm always like, "Oh my god, you smell so good! Just come here for a
Yes.
second. Just like, can you like waft your nice smells in my direction?" Or they have a hand washing station that you're supposed to use before you get water or food, and every time like I go wash my hands, and I'm like, "Oh, the smell of clean."
That's so
Back when the
funny.
days when we were living in the good land.
Yeah, exactly. Cleanliness.
Which is funny because you're like, you're in this area like over in Ridgecrest, like you're over in that you're in civilization. You don't really know where you're at. I feel like you're it's kind of like the Hunger Games. They drop you off and they blindfold you and then they just
But
go.
there's this big, wonderful city right around you. You just don't
Yeah.
know it.
Exactly. Um, so safe words are like a big hot topic. Did you guys come up with a safe word? Are you planning to use one? Oh, Danielle is jumping.
We just figured one out
We did.
Today? Like just now?
Right
Can
in
you
last
this
smell
week.
my
moment.
pit?
Smell my armpits. No.
Armpit.
Like the
Yeah.
SNL girl?
Yeah. Wow, this show is taking a turn. This is called In the Dirt, right? So here we go.
Yeah, in the dirt. We want all
We
the gritty
literally
dirt.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were at the adventure motorcycle training and we passed a sign and it was I can't speak Spanish, Danielle can, but it was a church that had uh what did it say? What was the it sounded like Velveeta and it was just like it was like
What are you
something
saying?
I thought she said because she was just like da 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 I need some and I thought she was saying I need some Velveeta and I was like that's just random. Like you want to eat like it's we're just driving around. Okay, let's go
And
get
then I
some
told her, I was like,
Velveeta.
yeah, Velveeta is my favorite cheese. And they're like, what?
Ew.
And I'm like, yeah, I love Velveeta. It's disgusting. I hate Velveeta. So yeah, we
We were
decided that.
laughing so hard at freaking Velveeta. You're like, we're
So
gonna use the word Velveeta.
if Velveeta is that funny, then I think we're just going to use Velveeta. I'll
What
just
is
have to
y'all
look
safe
at her
word?
and
Do
be
y'all have a safe word?
I don't think
No,
so.
not
If
yet.
we do, I don't know it.
We don't have one yet. So,
Yeah.
and the question is then like, is the safe word used to like break up the tension and we need to start laughing, or is the safe word more of like, I need 5 minutes and I like to collect
I think
myself?
I feel like the safe word is like okay, so when we were at the Barlow training, I felt like Cara was rushing me and I was like, I feel like if we had a safe word, I could just be like Velveeta. And she'd be
Because she
like,
doesn't like
just
the word rush. She doesn't like the
I
word
hate
rush
the
or
word rush.
tone.
I don't like the word tone. So if Cara at one point was like, your tone, and I'm like, I hate that word. And now I'm pissed off because she said a word that I don't like. But if she were like, Velveeta, you know, then I'm like, oh, okay. I need to be nice now.
We're probably looking at like day 7. The safe word will just be like, I think from the, like, it's just going to be a fun thing, right? I think it's going to be something that
Yeah.
brings up the funniness. I think for me personally, like, I don't think we'll ever get to this point. I pray we don't. But if we do, like, I'm more of like a shutdown. I'm going to go out. So I will say, I need some minutes and like step away and just to like mentally regroup and then go back. And then then we can say Velveeta all we want. But I think there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, and I feel like I've heard this a lot, and then just doing those 7 days at Nina's training, I feel like, and I think this is going to happen a lot between me and Cara, is like, I'm not upset with her. Like, I'm upset with myself, you know? And it's like, why are you being quiet? Or, Cara, why are you being quiet? Are you mad at me? No, I'm really upset with myself right
Hmm.
now because I did something that I messed up something or whatever,
Hmm.
and so I think Cara and I are probably going to struggle a lot with beating ourselves up.
Absolutely.
like feeling like we're letting the other person down.
And I think it's also important for us to voice that. And we learned that at Barlow, the training, because we went after all the blacks. And we did not get one of our we didn't get the full points. We were a little bit away from it. And so Danielle was really upset with herself. And I was like, no, I was like, let's move on. Let's not sit here and focus on this. We got a majority of the points, and so I think we have to also voice that those moments when we like are being quiet, but we are upset with ourselves because that allows our other teammate, because of our personalities, it helps us to have that encouragement to be able to then be able to say, no, you're doing fine, like to encourage them to build them back up because we need to rely on each other
Hmm.
in that time as well.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Okay, so you guys, all three of you are into dirt bikes.
Ooh, I love hitting the trails and being challenged on like single track style trails. I mean, I ride a bike that's a little bit bigger than a typical dirt bike. Um,
Yeah, what do you
Kara and
ride?
I both
Let's
ride a KTM
let's start out with
390.
what did you start with?
I started out with an XR 150, so a Honda XR 150, which is a small bike, and then long story short, upgraded uh, to my husband's KTM 390, and he got the Husqvarna Norden 901. So he has a much larger bike, adventure bike, dual sport bike, whatever you want to call it. Street legal, and you can ride it off road. I love the trails. I love trail riding. I love that challenge. Um, and I want to, go camping and do all that kind of fun stuff. And then Cara has the same bike as me. She just has different goals, or long-term goals of what to do on it. Um, so yeah, so that's a difference between us as well. The type of terrain we want to be riding on. But both of our husbands also ride as well, and my son rides as well with us. So
Yeah, so it's kind of like a give a mouse a cookie
yeah.
and then they'll ask for a cup of milk thing. So I started out with a Honda Trail 125. It's the classic. They used to make them. It was a Honda Trail 90 back in the days. And so Danielle's husband and their son had the bikes before Danielle actually got a bike. They wanted her to get a bike along, for a while, and then she finally did. But I got the Honda Trail, and then we had electric bikes, like, just the regular bicycles. And so my husband would try to keep up with me and he couldn't keep up with me. And he was like, crap, now I need a bike. So he got the same bike that Danielle started with, the 150. And I could not learn a clutch. My Honda Trail 125 didn't have a clutch. And I was like, this is so easy. I never want to learn a clutch. And Danielle and both Matt, my husband, was just like, if you learn a clutch, the world is your oyster. And so I ended up, because my 125 wasn't as fast as my husband, because it was a competition thing, because I was faster than him, on the electric bike, and then whenever he got the 150, he became faster than me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take my engine and big bore it. And so I put a 181. I got it big bored to a 181. So then I'm a little bit faster. Well, then Danielle and her husband went to this training, the adventure training, and they upgraded their bikes. And so then she got the 390. And so I needed to learn the 150. And so I learned the clutch system on the 150. And then I wanted the same as her because she's my best friend and we do everything together. So I had to go find a 390. And so then I went and found a 390. So then my husband had to get a new bike. So he got a 300 because of the whole speed thing. And then this past weekend, he got a 690. And so I'm like, if Danielle gets a bigger bike, I'm going to be screwed because we own 5 bikes at this point now.
When we own, yeah, we own, between my husband and I, we just have 3 bikes, and then my son has 1.5 bikes because he took the other one apart.
Lizzie, what do you ride?
So I have a KLX 140G, so it's got the bigger tires. So that's what I kind of started with. It's a dirt bike, but we've kind of turned it into dual sport up in Montana. We put lights on it and everything. Um, so it is quote unquote street legal. So that's kind of my primary bike that I ride, and then I also have an XT 250 dual sport that's more just for the more forest roads and stuff. I got We've only been doing it like 2 years now. My husband's ridden for a while, like when he was younger, and so, but then we never rode together. Once we got together, I'd actually never been camping when we met, and like didn't really do a lot of outdoor stuff. So it's wild to
Really?
get me to the point where it was like, okay, let's do dirt bikes.
Mhm.
That was a long process for him. So basically, 2 years ago, we went ahead and got bikes. I took some training, and it was kind of, I think what I really wanted out of it was like to really do the trails that we do with the trucks, but just be able to explore more. So it was kind of like go base camping, like camp with the trucks, and then explore out on the bike. So it hasn't really been like single track hasn't been my goal, or like really technical trails. It was just like, well, I just want to see all the stuff we normally see, but just do it because you can do it so much faster with the bikes, and they're nimble, and you can get more places. And like we would just go to areas and like explore every trail and find like the best campsites, and then like move to that campsite and then explore more. So that's kind of was our
That's
goal with the
awesome.
bikes. And then I've been like, I'm interested in single track, but I'm like, I need to like find people that are good at it and also can teach me like how like
So what training did you said you took a training? What training did you do?
I took one in out in San Diego. It's or I guess it's ANZA. So it's the
Yeah, Ansburigo.
Adventure. It wasn't so it's the area of Anza, not Anza Borrego. It's
Okay.
Moto Venture. So I did like with two girlfriends. The three of us went out and basically like paid for a private lesson so that it would just be girls because normally they'll do a group lesson or they'll do privates,
Right.
but the groups mixed. And so we just really wanted
Right.
that experience of like just women so we could kind of ask the dumb questions and like not be
I love that.
intimidated by like the other guys that are there. So I did that before I bought my bike, and then which was really helpful. So it was pretty much like 0 to we were trail riding in a couple hours, which was awesome. And then I've done a couple other ones, but that was the main one. So that really gave me like the confidence and the skills to actually go out and start riding.
Did you did the rally last year, right?
Yeah.
You were okay, did you talk to Eva at all? Eva Rupert, like she's a
Yeah,
huge
I
bike.
chatted with her a little bit because she's got that property down in Arizona that sounds awesome. So I've been talking to her about like coming out at some point. Usually we spend our winter times in Arizona, so I've been talking to her about coming out and like riding and stuff. But she's an amazing
That'd be really
rider.
cool. I didn't know how much time on the rally like you get to actually like chit chat with other like like if you get to know them.
I mean, yes and no. It's a lot of just like quick little interactions, chat, like so there's still
Okay.
a lot of like I'd say for me there's still a lot of women from the rally last year that it's like I either like said hi to or like but didn't get to know really well while on the rally because there's not a ton of time to actually spend like chatting with people. So
Do they do post
Yeah.
rally like do they even like have a post rally, I don't know, chat, get together, that kind of thing?
I mean just individual stuff like linking up online or linking up
Okay,
afterwards kind of thing. So
gotcha. I didn't know. I think that'd be kind of cool.
like
Yeah. I think people still continue to talk in the Facebook groups and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, you go, girls. I tried it. I'm out. I had a life goal. I have this zombie apocalypse list of life skills that I need, and learning how to ride a dirt bike or any kind of a motorcycle is on that list because, the world falls apart. I break into somebody's garage and that's all that's in there. I need to know how to ride it to get out. I have accomplished that
Yeah.
goal. Also, the third ride I ever went on with my husband, and I had a 125 big wheel. The wheels are not really that big,
Yeah.
let's face it. He took me to Tokerville Falls. Um, and when I told other people that, they're like, "You did what on your third ride out?" I was like, "Yeah." So his bike handling skills are amazing, and so he's just a natural to a dirt bike, and
Yeah.
so it's not for me.
I don't like people that are naturals at things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've not been
I will
a
say,
dirt bike thing. I've had to
yeah,
practice
Well,
a lot.
yeah,
I think if I had a group of women around that were like you guys and we're like, okay, we can just go ride some flattish roads and really like warm
Yeah.
up to it.
hmm.
But yeah, that's
Avis,
not my life. So
don't let your size. I've seen some little petite girls
Oh,
do
yeah.
like GS 1250s, and it's like
I know it's
It
possible,
is.
but I just think that it's stacked against me with Rob as my co-pilot because he's like, "You can do this," and I'm like, I can't do that." Okay, maybe I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I've decided I don't want to do it.
Well,
I had a list. I accomplished that.
even learning what you don't like to do is learning. So there you go.
Yeah. And then if you've ever seen video of me riding my dirt bike, it's sped up. 100%. Like, Rob is like, "I don't understand how you can even ride so slow." He's like, "How do you do that?" He's like, "That in itself is a special skill."
It
And I'm
is
like,
so true.
"I fear broken bones."
I get it. I get it. I don't
I
want
rode
to
with
fall
Liz
either.
once. I rode with Liz once with our husbands, and I actually drove my little bike up. Like, there was a rock, but it was basically a wall. It was straight up, and the bike went up it, and I hopped off, and she was like, "You, your reflexes are so fast." I was like, "Yes, I protect my body at all costs."
Survival instincts high.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. So, anyways, kudos to you, ladies. Maybe I see a bike. What do you call that? Bike packing
Do
trip?
a BDR. We could do a BDR together.
That'd be fun.
I want
Mm.
to do all the BDRs.
I'll drive. I'll drive the SAG car and I'll
Okay.
like resupply
We
you
need
at
those
areas.
people.
Yes, we do.
And like we can take a vehicle. I learned that you can rent a U-Haul for like $90 for like a week. And so you can load a bike in it. And so you can just drive the trailer around if we ever want to not do it. So
Exactly. I'm there for that. I'm your girl for that.
that's why we need each other.
Um. All right. What else? What else?
Well, I want to know how you
What
came
else
up with
do we
your
have here?
name, Grit and Grace. I love it for the
Oh.
team.
Mhm.
Yeah. That was really hard to come up with that name.
It's so hard because there's so many names that are taken, and we actually had a name, and it was our name. We were bonded to it, and there had never been another name like it, and we were so pumped until we found out this year there's someone that has that name, and we're like, we're going down. We're not going to tell you who that was,
Nope.
but
Nope.
I'll just ask you after the rally is over.
Yeah.
Be like, all right,
okay.
who was it? I want to know the name.
Just whisper to my ear. We won't tell
Okay,
anybody.
I'll whisper it later when it doesn't have the red recording.
We really like our name a lot,
Yeah.
though. It's
I think
like,
this
we
suits
love
us
it.
a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the names are hard, right?
Yeah.
There's so many good ones taken, and then there's so many words that as a woman you just don't want to use.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And you want a name that kind of symbolizes you, and you don't like you also want it to be like something that like we have merch, and so like you want it to be something that it can go out there to women to I don't know, it's everybody, everybody has this thing with like labels and identities and stuff like that. So like we wanted it to really encompass who we are and who we hope to be during the rally. So like we both have aspects of grit and grace in ourselves, sometimes more than others with each other. But also, like if you look at the rally itself, it is grit and grace. Like you have to have that through the rally. And so it kind of, I don't even know, like we were just brainstorming all the things one night after we discovered this name that we had before was taken. Like there was a lot of like we had a group chat with our husbands and it said the name plus husbands and like we had basically trademarked that name and so then we were like there was a lot of cuss words and then we decided, oh Grace, let's have Grace.
Yeah, we needed to have Grace.
Mhm.
I like it. All right, our time is coming to an end here, but I just wanted to ask. So we're hoping to follow you guys on your whole year of training and
That's
adventure leading
exciting.
up to the rally. So we're hoping to interview you guys a couple more times. So first thoughts now, like you're looking forward to the rally. You've set really ambitious goals.
Mhm.
First thoughts. So, like, we're going to do your first quarter thoughts. Like, you've
Okay.
been to a couple trainings. So, like, how are you guys feeling? Do you think you're ready? Do you think you can know it all?
No. I don't
You go
think we're
first,
ready
Danielle.
yet. I don't think we're gonna ever know it all. I feel we will be ready enough. I mean, we are really putting in some hard work. and I think we will be ready enough come rally time. Yeah, I mean, I just hope we will gain knowledge every single year. Obviously, this is our first year. It's not our last year. But yeah, I don't know. I'm real curious to see my thoughts in a few months after we have a few more trainings down. And
I know that Emily and Jimmy, they try to change things up yearly. So I mean, I think as a seasoned veteran, you go into it and you're like, oh, I didn't know this was you think of ways that they can come up with something new all the time. So I don't think anybody's actually ever prepared from a rookie to a veteran. But I do think that if you put the time in and you put the work in, I think that obviously that will set you up to be in a better position than had you not. So I think we are definitely prepared.
0 to now, you've had a couple trainings. Like, what have you been like with your first 2 trainings, especially the 7-day Glamis training? What have you been like, oh, I think I had that wrong and I need to rethink that? Is there anything that like hit you in this first like beginning time frame?
I think Danielle's put a lot of work in as far as the navigation piece is going. I think it's fine tuning details of like how to do things and even down to our communication. I think communication for us is going to be the biggest thing that we have to learn throughout this whole situation.
Yeah.
Like I think we can learn, and that's just going with personalities, the differences there because we are 2 individuals. And so I think I'm interested to see that grow. I want to see that grow.
And time. I mean, I feel like we manage our time well with what we know how to do, but the better we know how to do those things, the better our time will be managed, if that makes sense. And so building up speed and not losing that accuracy, especially with navigation.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. We hope you have a great year training and can't wait to follow up with you, and we'll call it the next quarter.
Yeah. I'm excited. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
See ya.
Bye.